So this guy doesn't tip and tap. This guy blasts and boom.
Pro boxing fans here in London, Johnny Nelson. I look back and I see all these fighters getting on this London show, and I see a lot of promoters getting back together now. We see Tyler Denny there from Boxer, we see Anthony Kakache, and obviously Daniel Dubois from Queensbury. Obviously Matchroom's got Joshua and a few others. Is it just good to see that everyone's getting along? You know, everyone just...
It's good to see, you know, there's an undercurrent there and everyone's like, giving that one. But if the boxing fans and boxing has to benefit and grow for the better, this has to happen. And so for this to happen, the money's being put on the table for these guys to get together and give us the fans what we want and crack the head of the promoters together. So you lot work together or we'll carry on without you. And this is what's happening. So for us, I don't care about what's happening with the promoters. I don't want to sit next to him. I don't want to sit next to him. I don't want to put a false smile on for him. We know that's going on. But we're talking about the fighters. You know, this is the sport. We're talking about the fighters getting the opportunity. Tyler Denny, I'm so happy for him. You look at the whole card. You look at Will Hutchinson getting a shot at Joshua Boateng. Come on, man. You know, to me, I love seeing fighters succeed coming out on the dull side. Because forever you hear so many stories about fighters ending up with nothing and always waiting till tomorrow for that opportunity. The opportunity is here now. So the fact that these promoters have got to work together is not our problem. Let them sort out that childish stuff. The fact that the fights are happening, that's our business.
Let's talk about the main fight, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. I do want to ask you though, seeing Daniel's progression, and you know he's had a few stumbles there, Joyce, Alexander Usyk. Did you feel like we want to get to this point at some point with Daniel Dubois?
You know what, if I'm honest with you, you know, and it's part of the growing up, you're going to take criticism, because I criticised him. You know, I said, this boy, I don't think he's got the art. I don't think it's with him. He's just growing up in public. And so therefore, you're going to say what you see. And so what you see, thinking this boy, you know, he's got quit in him because I've seen it there. But then he's had to grow up and mature in public. I know that because I was that. You know, I was a boy in a man's body. Then eventually when the penny dropped, like, I get it. So all those people that say you ain't going to do it, you understand why they say it, because they don't have anything else to go by. So now Daniel Dubois is in a position where he's had two back-to-back good wins. You start to see the union with Don Charles work really good for him. Now it's an opportunity to again bring out another career best, but he's getting in with a guy that's actually been through the same thing he's been through. You know, he's already been there. He's had to wear that T-shirt. He understands that. So now, you know, you've got two guys that have had to mature in public. I've had to take the licks in public. I've had success in public, and now they're at that stage there. So who would you lean towards? Obviously, you'd lean towards Anthony Joshua because he has the experience that Dubois is going through, and now he has the wisdom from it. So it'd be good either way.
I've asked a lot of people about this fight because there's a lot of rumours leading up to this fight. A lot of people saying, look, Daniel Dubois put in a great performance against Hrgović, but he was very, very open. If that's Anthony Joshua on the other side, he possibly finishes Dubois. Did you see that with Dubois' performance against Hrgović? And do you agree with that narrative?
I do. I think Anthony Joshua is far too clean, powerful, correct to give away shots like that. You can't give those away to Anthony Joshua. You saw how he took Ngannou off his feet. So this guy doesn't tip and tap. This guy blasts and boom. So I do agree with that. But it's about game plan. It's about heart, determination, and you know, I think it's a good match all in all.
Do you want to talk about just another fight over here? You spoke about Tyler Denny there. I just obviously was covering this fight the past weekend against Felix Cash, but what story, man. Like, a lot of people said this kid's just going to stay at a certain level and, you know, maybe win over a few fans, maybe be a ticket seller, but he's progressed, European champion now he's fighting on a massive card against Hamza Shiraz.
I was there the night he won the European title, and I was so happy for him. This guy lives in a 2-bedroom flat. You know, his personal life isn't the smoothest. Financially, it's hard for this boy coming through to pull off and win the European title. I thought, yes, I'm seeing this boy just have an opportunity to change his life. And again, pulls off against Felix Cash, which I actually said before. What do you think? I said, Felix Cash, we've seen the best of him. I think Tyler Denny is hungry enough and ambitious enough and has enough desire to say, you know, I can push this through, gets the job done. Now he's in there in another big fight, and he'll be getting paid handsomely. in here in the UK, he'll sell the most amount of tickets. It'll be mad. I think what another opportunity. But either way, his life has changed. You know, the direction of his life has changed, which I'm happy about.
Joshua Buatsi makes a return to the ring. We know it's been frustrating for him because I know there was negotiations for the Anthony Yarde fight. We know Anthony Yarde at the moment is having sort of a dispute with his promoter right now. But just good to see Joshua Buatsi back against a very, very good opponent in Willie Hutchinson.
I know Willie Hutchinson. He trained at our gym. This boy, don't underrate him. There used to be a guy called Tony Booth, and eventually the back end of his career, he was kind of a journeyman. But he could fight. And the only reason why he ended up being a journeyman is because his desire, you know, didn't match his ability. He had unbelievable ability. Willie Hutchinson has unbelievable ability, and again, it reminds me of Tony Booth, because I think your desire's got to match your ability, because you'll be a handful. You know, you can box, you can mess them about, you can old man somebody, you can hustle, you can get yourself through. You're a confident young man, and so it's a good fight. Trust me, it's not as easy. It's not as hit and go as you expect. Joshua Buatsi, you know, he's proved, come on, domestically, don't test me. So again, this is another domestic test that he's going through until the Yarde fight comes off. He's thinking, I ain't waiting about for you. I'll get on with this fight. You do what you want to do. I'm willing to take this risk. But it's a good fight, really good fight.
I do want to ask you about an opponent that was... there was rumours about Chris Eubank Jr. fighting Hamza Shiraz on this card. What do you make of Chris's career since that last fight that he's had against Liam Smith? He seems to be on hold. It doesn't seem to be...
I don't think he's on hold. I think he's choosing what works best for him financially. Okay. You know, he's still a name. He still can put bums on seats, so he's going to put himself in a position to say, well, that suits me. He's one of the few fighters that can pick and choose. You know, he's not on the beg. So inactivity, I don't think is great for a fighter at certain stages of their career. So I think for Chris, you know, he's saying, well, this is what I want to do. I'm doing it my way. You know, I can still get work. I can still put a bill on. I've got my own promotion set up. I can do what I want to do. If it doesn't suit him, he ain't going to do it.
I do want to talk about Ryan Garcia. We've obviously seen what's happened in regards to the punishment he's going to receive. It's going to be a year ban. He's given his purse 1.1 million. That's going to be spread between Golden Boy and Haney. What did you make of this? Because a lot of people that I've spoken said, listen, that ban should be a lot more. He's failed 3 drug tests, it seems like. But do you feel like because he's complied with the method and the procedure that, you know, he's...
Totally. I think that's why, because he's complied. Obviously, he's denied. You know, he thinks, you know what, I failed. This is what I did. If that's got me a failure, I'm buying up. This is what I did. So, and I get it. I totally get it. If he'd have been dragging him, no, I ain't doing X, Y, Z, they'd have slapped a bigger suspension on him. But the boy puts bums on seats. So there you can be the cynic and say it's only because he puts bums on seats. They need his boy to be fighting. But what I'm saying is, I know you're alluding to the Conor Benn situation. The Conor Benn situation is, and it's the same thing. I'm like, you know what? You know you didn't do it. As far as you're concerned, put your hands up and say, I'll take my licks. But and really, Conor could be flying now, you know, on a bill like this, on so many bills, because you've got fighters that are attractive fighters. And so I think what's happened with Ryan Garcia, he's had to take his licks and he'll wait and do the patient. And the thing is, when you fight at a certain level, you're probably fighting once or twice a year anyway. So and Garcia's at that level.
Then the question is, we've seen someone, I'll give you an example, for example, Liam Cameron, who's obviously had to take a ban, I think it was recreational drugs that he was done for. And then we saw what Canelo got for clenbuterol. The argument in boxing is that the bigger the name you are, it seems like the less punishment you get.
Unfortunately, that's the shit that happens. I can remember boxing Marcus Bott for the European title. I beat him, he failed the drug test after it, had a 3-month ban, and then boxed the world title before I did, and I beat him. You know, so it's if it suits, and this is where not one or two, all of the governing bodies need to get their acting on, but they don't actually care. It's like the top of the bill. Now these guys are boxing for the IBF title. The governing body, you know, the IBF is like saying, right, you're the undisputed champion, but we're taking it away and we're going to have our own world champion. How is that doing our sport to a casual fan from a distance any good? You know, because you've seen, and Usyk is one of the few fighters that's in a position to say, I'm bigger than the belt. Like Canelo, bigger than the belt. So go on, take it. But and they'll take the stick, they'll take the flak for now, the IBF, they'll take the stick, take the flak now. But in reality, you know, it does our sport no good. Individuals profits. So the IBF will profit, they'll get the fees or whatever it is for whatever they're doing it. But this is pure madness. We've got one unified champion, and now all of a sudden they're smashing up again. So will the winner of this fight be recognised as the best fight in the world? No, he won't. And nobody knows that. So how do you go about it? So to me, the IBF have just again done another faux pas and messed up. But they're not just the only ones that do it. They all do it.
I found one before I let you go. Tyson Fury's done his first interview since the loss to Alexander Usyk, and a lot's been made about it. A few things that he said was he felt it was easy. He feels like if he's going to have a fight again with Usyk, he's got to knock him out. He's not going to get the decision. But do you feel like whilst he gets criticised or people are picking on his interview, that this is things he's going to say? It was a close fight at the end of the day, and he did feel like he won it.
What else could he say? Yeah. He's telling you, he don't care what you think or what I think. So he'll tell you, I've been in fights before. I can remember getting a draw and Brendan says, tell him you won it easy. This guy was a complete nightmare. I said I won that fight easy. I'll look you barefaced in your face, I won it easy. Tyson knows how hard that fight was. Yeah. Tyson knows how hard the rematch is going to be. He'll tell you guys what you want to hear. So he understands there needs to be some fundamental change there. Tyson's a very good reader of the fight game. So when he's saying I went back to the corner, they said I were winning, so I was all right. Tyson's a bus driver, ticket collection, everybody. He knows it all. He knows more than the man in the corner. So he knew if he was ahead or behind. So when he's trying to put it on them lot, he knew. So he's just telling you guys what you want to hear. And I get it, and I smile. I'll probably get called out for calling it out, saying you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I just call out the bullshit.
Yeah, you're real. Let's put it that way. Johnny Nelson, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much for your time as always, and we'll catch up again. What's up, man? Thanks very much.